All right, guys, in this video, we're going to do some quick updates on the status, the progress of these wallets, and do a little bit of question and answer, and also address some bad comments. So the haters are starting to work their way in. I love it, and I love proving them wrong. So let's jump into this real quick and get this thing over with for today. Let's go. All right, guys, in this video, I'm going to post some quick updates. Not really reached any goals yet, but we're getting closer. So we know in this $100 wallet here, we have reached the point where it was able to recoup the $100 base, but now we're in the process of getting that extra 15%. So we still have another $5.36 worth that's being converted. Okay. And if we look at these conversion rates, we're seeing that this kind of flopping all over the place. One day is $5.60, $3, $6, $3. So this is something that I would like to address because I had a question about this. But before I get into it, let's jump and look at these other wallets real quickly. Here's the $500 wallet here. We paid that amount in fees, and we are getting closer to reaching to that net point. So we did that on the 7th. Today is the 11th. So we're about 4 days in, 5 days in with these here. So it is making good progress. Really decent progress, actually, to the point where I understand some of you guys may not want to or care to go out to the marketplace and sell your credits because the system is just churning like that. But we'll continue into that in just a little bit as well. And let's check out this $1,000 wallet here. We paid in fees 0.0015, and it looks like we are a little bit under half of just recouping that $100 deposit or $100 fee that we paid from that $1,000 deposit. All right. So things are looking good thus far, and that's pretty much all I have for that aspect of it. So let's jump over and get into the question that my brother Michael had. All right, I think it's this one here. So when he saw the other video, he just put two and two together, put some logic together, and he had the question. So the vault algorithm will yield or convert faster with more in the vault. So more adoption is good, right? And this isn't what I want to clarify to him and what I want to clarify to you guys, because you might be thinking, oh, if we just throw, it's going to require a lot of adoption or massive adoption or a lot of money being into the vault. So I clarify here just in case you guys have not read the comments. I know a lot of you do not. So I'm addressing these questions. So the vault algorithm will yield or convert faster with more in the vault. I say conceptually this makes sense, but the vault's conversion rate depends more on the vault's balance to obligation ratio. As described in the homepage of the websites, credits are obligations that the system is designed to fulfill. So if the vault has a balance of 1,000 and it has an obligation of 2,000, the ratio would be 50%, and it would convert at a rate equivalent to this ratio. The higher this ratio is, the faster it converts those credits into Bitcoin. Okay. So if the vault has more in it, let's say $10,000 instead of that $1,000, see, it has more in there, but it has an obligation of 30,000, it would yield at a slower rate because its balance to obligation ratio is less than that 50%. It would be at 33%. Okay. So while there's technically more Bitcoin in the vault, its obligation is factored in here. Okay. So then he asks, so more adoption would equate to that. Now, more adoption is good, but it's not going to affect that conversion rate. So I say not really. Considering the rate of conversion is based on the vault's balance to obligation ratio, greater adoption wouldn't necessarily affect the conversion rate. However, greater adoption would be a greater benefit to everyone that uses their wallets and acquires credits. Okay. Guys got to catch this, because trust me, as more people start coming into the system and you guys are coming, it's going to benefit you all. All right. Think of your wallet as being connected to a community bank that charges transaction fees in Bitcoin. The more Bitcoin the bank collects from transaction fees, the more Bitcoin it has to distribute to the wallets that are connected to it. This is what the vault does when it converts credits to Bitcoin. And the vault performs conversions in a balanced way, not preferencing one wallet over another. Okay. If you've read over the Medium article, and this is going to be an interesting thing because I'm picking up on something I dropped in the Medium article and sharing here. Okay. If you read over the Medium article, you may recall a quick mention of an auto evaluation mechanism that is built into the system. Without getting into too much detail now, this mechanism will automatically adjust the payout percentage that the wallets are kicking out. Currently, you guys go out there to the site now, you see it's paying out a net of 15% on your deposits. Okay. This percentage can be automatically adjusted based on a number of factors that the software takes into account. But the better it performs, the higher the net payout will be. And it increases by 1% once it reaches each goal. Okay. But on the flip side, if the system detects that there's any need for any capital injections, it will decrease the payout by 1%. And there's always a cool off period of 30 days. So any adjustments to the percentage will remain in place for at least 30 days. So the gist of this right now is paying out 15%. It'll be knocking that out throughout the whole month of March. If any capital injections are needed during this time, it's going to drop down to 14% over the next, and then there's going to be a 30-day cool off period. After that, we're going into April? No, we're next. Yeah, May. We're going into May. It might change. It might go up. It might go down. But the percentage is going to be based on that. Okay. So the software runs 100% on autopilot and will determine the perfect percentage of yield to pay out based on the performance and usage of the wallets at any given time. So whether you guys get in now, you sit around, wait for a month, 2 months, 5 months, 6 months, you're still going to see this thing churning out returns for its users. And you're going to be wishing you had gotten in earlier, because in this case, time really is money. We are in a bull run. The price of Bitcoin is shooting up. And what better place to get your Bitcoin without tying up your capital, right? So I'll explain. This is yet another feature that helps make the project sustainable. Okay, you got to catch this, guys. It's not a bad thing necessarily if the rate that it pays out drops from 15% to 14% or 12% or even 10%, because you're not going to find returns like that anywhere else. And you have to also keep in mind that these returns that is kicking out is not the APY, it's straight on your deposit, which you can cash out fairly quickly in the marketplace, or just wait for the system to convert those coins for you, convert those credits into Bitcoin. Okay. All right. So there is a lot built into the system to ensure its payout capabilities and sustainability. So everyone that uses these wallets will undoubtedly earn Bitcoin and do so at no risk. Catch this, guys. I need you to catch this. Of course, I can say that it's absolutely no risk because I built it, understand how it works, and I know that the code is going to do what it's programmed to do. The only risk that you guys have is trusting me as the developer. Like, will I take your Bitcoin, or how secure is the code and the infrastructure and the hardware and all the things that have been set up behind the scenes, right? But I can assure you all that the code is the law, and I'm only here to share how things work with you. So you can kind of get in and start using the system and set up your own strategy for your own personal goals, right? And time will reveal just how effective this project will be at generating yield for its users. Some will use the wallet and earn greater returns than they'll ever make in any other DeFi project or any other crypto or traditional market. And others will continue higher risk investments and lose money. Can't wait to see that in comparison to this. All right. There are too many greedy scammers out there. We've all seen them. They're out there in the world. But the one good thing is that I'm not one of them, people. All right. And I'd rather see us all blessed and making gains than acting in a deceitful way to make a quick buck, right? Need you guys to understand it. And if you don't, check out some of my videos in the past, check out the things that I've done, and also understand that the guys that have joined are starting to use this wallet now are doing so because we have already established a rapport. They've seen what I've done in the past, and they're like, okay, I'll take a little money and just a little money. You always try a new software or system out with just a small bit to test it. You always want to test the system. And as you become more comfortable and you trust the system and see that it's kicking out, you're going to put more. And the beautiful thing about this wallet, guys, is when you put in more, you don't even have to put in any more of your fresh capital. As you begin earning yield from it, you can just put the yield back in. All right. This is not your typical project that locks up your money. You guys got to understand this. And as you start using it, understand the source from how this thing pays out is through transaction fees. It's not trying to hold your money or your Bitcoin or your capital. It could care less about that. It wants you to move money. It wants you to participate in the marketplace. It wants you to send Bitcoin and receive Bitcoin, because with each one of those things, it's getting a larger vault balance that it can distribute out to us all. Okay. So I dropped that, and also I say all this because I did get another comment from this guy here. Knows absolutely nothing about the project. Looks at it, what come on a spike. He just bashed the project right out the bat and hasn't even looked into it to find out what it's really about. And I can tell that from this comment. Nevertheless, I post this out here because just in case he tries to come out and delete this comment in the future, it'll be right here for everybody to see. He says, mark his words, whatever, heed this warning and stay away unless you want to lose money. All right. So that was a day ago. So mark this. This is March the 11th, 2024, where come on a spike, drop that. You know, I try to school the boy a little bit and kind of get his mind right, but we'll see. Time will surely tell. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this thing really kicks out returns for all you guys. All right. Keep these questions coming, guys, because the more you know about the system, the more effective you'll be able to use it. And I'll be here dropping additional videos to give you more information because we are getting close to discussing more things about the marketplace. All right, guys. I think that's all I got for you on this one, and we'll holler on the next one. Peace out.